Tarek bot lane. I was about to say, Cap's probably not going to play this champion. I have no doubt he has games on it, but he hasn't played it professionally just yet. And also, Kalista is one of those picks that even veteran ADC players don't trend towards because she plays so differently to other champions. So to see the Tarek locked in, the signature bot lane duo that Carzzy and Kaiser first brought into the LEC, that says to me it almost has to be Kalista Tarek bot side.
The first taste of Mad Lions being a true competitor, true challenger to the top of the table was from the come-from-behind win against G2 Esports, thanks to that Tarek Kalista combination from Carzzy and Kaiser. It was fantastic. I can still see the fight in the mid lane river pushing towards G2's side where Mad Lions picked up the win. Now to have the gall and the bravado to lock that combo in against Mad, that is sending a message. Look, Shadow gets his Lee Sin anyway, and now the jungle pool is going to get targeted. Olaf has already been banned away, and G2 can maybe get a slightly more comfortable matchup for Azir. Thank you for getting rid of Corki.
Just get that one off the board. So no Corki, no LeBlanc in here for Humanade. I do wonder what he goes towards. Sylas is potentially an option, and I bring this up for two key reasons. One is Sylas run over the entire early game and really been able to find windows to punish G2. Now by having the Rek'Sai, it can guarantee safety for Wunder tops, or sorry, that's not going to be Wunder's Kalista in the top side, but it can guarantee safety for a lot of these lanes and limit Shadow's playmaking opportunities.
Okay, all right. Look, this whole game, this whole series, early game has been so heavily influenced by Shadow and Jankos' decision-making because, frankly, the caliber of the players and especially on the side of Mad Lions, if we don't see... Is that locked in? That's Bard!
All right!
Bard locked in!
Okay.
It's Bard!
So in Game 5, between G2 and Mad Lions, it was Mickey playing the Bard. He got a solo kill against Shadow, but obviously didn't end up winning the game. Now Kaiser is locking this in. This is going to be a ranged matchup to try and punish Tarek inside the laning phase.
Actually,
also has the ability to roam a lot on this pick.
And if there was anybody that was going to be able to look at Kalista Tarek and go, hey, what can punish that? I would freaking hope that Carzzy and Kaiser would be able to have some sort of answer. When you have an affinity and ability to play a particular set of champions, you understand both their strengths and weaknesses. I'm actually very excited to see how Carzzy and Kaiser can handle the 2v2. We've seen them play quite aggressively a couple of games in a row. One or two that went well, and then one or two that was punished. But now with the Ezreal Bard versus Kalista Tarek, frankly, I don't care about your Rek'Sai versus Lee Sin.
Look,
I want to
Trevor,
see the 2v2.
Zoom out even bigger than the 2 versus 2. Bard ult versus Tarek ult in the team fights. I said Mad Lions needed an answer. Tarek tries to make his team invulnerable, and you just say, no, stop playing the game for a moment. Oh, you pop out, now you take damage again. Like, that is the ultimate counter right there.
Please, give me the ultimate counter. Ladies and gentlemen, G2 Esports taking on Mad Lions. And welcome back, everybody else, to what could be the final game of the night. Excuse me as I choke on my own water.
It might be Trevor's final game as well.
Yeah, it might just be. It gets real hot in my spare room, it turns out, as I've got the rig and all the lights running. But anyways, look, let's keep focused now as there's a lot on the line here. Mad Lions, of course, every game is an elimination game now. Shadow on the Lee Sin, very excited about that. Humanoids, Akali, and then Kaiser's Bard. You mentioned that the Rek'Sai will be able to control Shadow early. So where do you want to see Jankos playing? Do you want to see him getting into Shadow's jungle, trying to disrupt him? It's something that we have seen success on in the past.
So I think with the Rek'Sai pick, Rek'Sai is a champion that's less focused about like running into the enemy jungle and fighting the enemy jungler early on, but is much more looking to play for ganks around his lanes. And particularly as a blue side Rek'Sai, you have your eyes on that bottom lane. It's funny because we've actually heard Mickey talk about this in the past, which I fully agree with, because of the way the terrain is built, Rek'Sai has a much easier time ganking bot lane when he's on the blue side because of that really thick wall towards that red side turret down there that he can get through, as opposed to going top side. And it's sort of the inverse when he's going to be on the red side. So you can see with his pathing already, this is the start of a clear that Jankos really helped introduce to the LEC with a lot of junglers, is starting on your wolf camp, because if you take your wolf camp into red buff into Krugs, you're going to hit level 3, and because Rek'Sai has some AoE at level 1, you're going to do that faster than if you were just whacking away at the blue buff that actually has pretty high base armor values as well. So Jankos may look to get involved early, or just come down here at the very least to try and protect his bot lane, which you know is going to be pushing early.
What do you think about the 2v2, Ezreal Bard? I know you've already talked about the ranged matchup and how Bard's going to be able to bully a little bit, and then, you know, but how's it play out other than that?
So, other than that, like, at level 1, Kalista just offers so much power, and you can see already, like, positioning mistake from Kaiser has to flash away with the exhaust coming down. Huge damage, pulling that Ren through as well. So, level 1, Bard not bullying anyone, but you can't get hit by those Taric E's. I also think that Karzi and Kaiser are playing cautiously. If you remember back to game 1, they pushed up when Shadow started bot and was pathing up, and they got super punished for it. They died to that level 3 gank from Jankos. So this time, they're allowing the wave to be pushed in towards them, but they might just get dove here if Jankos acts quickly. He knows that that Grom camp isn't up, so these guys are super vulnerable down here and are going to lose everything. All
right, flash is blown on Kaiser. If he gets caught by the Umburrow, it could cause problems. That's it. They're going for it. Magical Journey is up. Jankos is the first one to take it. And that was just a beautifully set up first blood.
Yep, I mean, Flash was gone, as you said. Jankos comes in. I'm not sure if he needed the Flash here, but it gives him so much control. Now Shadow looking for play on Perks, finds the Q.
And he has arrived, manages to horde hop over, 250 HP to burn through. 110, had already used the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike combo, so didn't have that execution ability available to him. And Perks once again walks away from a Shadow humanoid gank in the mid lane.
Yeah, so this is the absolute worst case scenario, I think, for Mad Lions at the start of the game. Like, yes, you know, you get some pressure down towards mid, you force Perks back to base, that's great, whatever. But the map has been completely split. Now Shadow is committed towards the top side of the map. He's going to, you know, be bullied out here a little bit by Wonder, so he can't actually find a gank to happen. That wave should be pushing back towards Wonder's side. If I can judge it correctly looking on up there, yep, wave should be coming on in here. So Wonder's under virtually no pressure top lane. Perks is going to say, hey, it's fine. Wave comes in towards me, and now Jankos can continue to play focused 100% around the bot side and continue to find another dive timer with the double TPs while Kaiser's Flash is down.
And I'm looking at his positioning right now, moving towards the chicken camp as Humanoid is shoved in the mid lane. Humanoid running a TP as well as a Rome. 2 TPs on the side of G2, neither have been used, and Shadow has made his way up to the top lane. Wonder's going to step forward, fighting in the minion wave, manages to get the proc of Q. Very good flash. Shadow dashes forward a little bit more, but will not be able to find the kill. And I don't know if they're going to be bold enough to look for the tower dive.
Oh man, I love watching these two junglers though. Both of them super aggressive, looking for the early plays, and we've already seen a rotation come through. Kaiser and Karzi, they're not opting in to the bot lane. They're swapping at 5 minutes into the game, running up here to look for the dive. They've given up entirely. Jankos, he's going to spot it out with the Tremor Sense. Now he knows something is wrong here.
Yeah, he does. He's been pinned against the wall, though. He's going to be forced to tunnel away. 200 HP ticking. Here comes Shadow. If he lands a Q, that could be enough. Karzi's gone deep. He's got it. Shadow finds the second, and he does lose his life in the trade. But now, all of a sudden, Mickey has joined the fray. And he's going to be in trouble of a potential dive. Mad Lions, they will not go down quietly. Kill to Karzi, kill to Shadow, looking for
double
another.
Teleports!
Is coming in from G2, but Mickey, how long can he stay alive? Arome gets the kill. Summoning heal used to keep him alive. That's a flash away. Arome stays alive for now. Wonder's chasing down Kaiser, and Arome continues to cause trouble for G2 Esports. Humanoid now joins the fray, throws out a 5-point shuriken, gets pushed back by the Emperor's Divide, but Perks is on the wrong side of the rift. And the shurikens to the back will just about be enough. Kaiser gets taken out under the tower, and Humanoid still not level 6. Karzi, by the way, level 3.
Jankos
and
is
a new
back.
challenger appears. How effective will he be? Wonder gets taken down, and now Arome's teleported in. Come on, give me more.
What is going on here, Trevor? I have no idea what is...
Gaming houses or the offices. So there's so much to deal with. I believe we are now in game. So I'm actually going to just cast off my game screen, and hopefully this will work. Right, Ender. We're back into it, and everything we've talked about has now been put on the cards, and Kaiser will be making his way towards the mid lane.
Let's do it here. Kaiser already found out Mickey X. I don't know what both of them are doing in mid lane, but Humanoid is level 6 and on the chase here. They've got the portal. I think that might just get him.
Yeah, definitely looks to be the case. And if there are any strange things, I don't have the ability to talk back to my producers, as Mickey is now going to get run down. And that's going to be the 10th kill before 15 minutes. It looks like the minimap is frozen. I can only assume...
It's locked in time.
Yes, I can
So I believe the problem with this, so I have a little bit of experience with Chrono Break, and I'm just spitballing here. There are a lot of problems when it comes to the minimap during Chrono Break. Like, super long ago in the past, I think this has been fixed now, but like, the minimap just wouldn't update for like 5 seconds coming out of it. So it is possible that up until 9 minutes, our minimap just won't function. But of course, the players had already played this, so they had no issues with that whatsoever. But we are back into standard lane state after Mickey was caught out around that middle lane. With Karzi and Kaiser down here, they can now break the freeze, which is super, super pivotal, because had that stuck for much longer, it would have just been completely doomed.
Yeah, absolutely the case. And then, of course, once we get back to live, ladies and gentlemen, the minimap will work once again. So as we know that this is coming, I just want to give you guys a quick update and a reminder how we started the day. The winner today plays Fnatic tomorrow in the LEC Spring Split Championship Finals. The loser is eliminated and will place third in the Spring Split. Mad Lions won Game 3 in a fairly convincing style, and have played very proactive, very forward-facing League of Legends, and now are under some threat, as Yankos and the rest of G2 were setting up. Had Mad Lions committed for the tower, that would have been the go button. Instead, they have wisely backed away, and this is good, and this is a little bit of growth and some development on the side of Mad Lions.
Yeah, it's very important to be able to recognize the fights that aren't going to be going your way, and of course, we didn't know how many more people could be around that bottom lane, but it seems like mid laners and top laners are in their respective lanes for the time being, so everything's sort of going to fizzle away here, as, you know, it looks like we're just streamers protecting from ghosting at the moment, but we're going to get Minimap back in 30 seconds. It's going to be great,
I believe we will blink on camera for a moment or two, so you might get a good look at my forehead once again. And let's quickly take a look at some of the items here. 3-0 on Humanoid's Akali, as Wonder gets a good chunk of damage on Arome. He's got himself the Sorcerer's Boots and then the Vedius gun item that only Vedius can't remember. Thank you, Shox, Hextech Revolver. But compare that to perks. Double Doran's Rings, double attack speed daggers, and a pair of boots. There's a big difference there in itemization power, so if Mad Lions can find themselves an opportunity to take advantage of that, unlocking Humanoid, who has really started to wake up as the series has played out, is a great start. And typical, as I talk about that, there's a gank in the he's shut down.
Yep, good little timing there from Yankos. Now Arome finds himself a little bit caught out with Caps jumping over the wall here.
Yeah, absolutely the case, and he's going to be able to turn this one around. Gets the showstopper down. It is a trade 1-for-1 at the end of the day.
Mickey just getting bounced around there underneath the tower. As hello, we're back on screen for just a second before we get right on back into the game. Thank you so much for being with us through all these technical issues we're trying to face, getting the Chrono Break back in. This was, of course, the point where I believe then Arome may have disconnected and not been able to
I'm actually
going to
give you the official reading. I've just scrolled back through our production chat, and I will read this now. During the game, Arome reported lag spikes. After reviewing the footage, League officials have offered the Chrono Break to Mad Lions. They accepted, and now we have gone back to basically play it out. So those kills never took place, and we will be fixing the broadcast and the stream and getting everything back up in just a moment.
We've gone back to the future, Trevor.
I'm
sticking with it. I'm sticking with that for now. So it's kind of a crazy game to try to figure out exactly what is going to be happening as we jump on back into this one right here. So Arome, no teleport. Humanoid also spent his. Actually, no one has teleports for the time being. It just seems like G2 should be able to pick up this Rift from Herald uncontested here, while Karzi is pushing down on that bottom side of the map. Has already got himself 1 turret plate, might be able to make it 2. Remember, he needs all the gold he can get at the moment. He's down 35 CS, so to not be able to tick over that second tower plate is especially unfortunate, but he has to show the respect because his bot lane, or the rest of his team, just isn't around him.
If I can ask observers to toggle over to gold, as you can see it's even in the top, but I want to look at the difference in the bot laners. 1-0 with 90 CS, nearly 4,000 gold there, 4 caps on Kalista versus 3,300 for Karzi, even though he's got the kill and the assists. It'll be interesting to see how that continues to impact the game. And in a similar sort of vein, 2 kills for Perks on his Azir, thanks to that gank in the mid lane. He is marginally ahead of Humanoid's Akali, as G2 have now temporarily regained control. Wonder will find himself somewhat caught out in the river, and perfect execution from Humanoid. That throws him back into Wonder, and Kazi is the recipient of the kill. Magical Journey will get Kaiser to safety for now, and very well timed on the Cosmic Binding, as Perks is then locked against the wall. Just a reminder, the 2020 kill record at 15 minutes, at 10 minutes, correction, was 15 kills. We haven't got past that yet. 22 kills is the number at 15, and now Humanoid's trying to help this out, and he will go down as Jankos will be able to take him out.
Oh, Yanko's just really punishing Humanoid here. First it was the gank in the mid lane, now it's Humanoid trying to make a hero play in the bot side river, and that will mean Drake goes over into the hands of G2. A little bit of a different look to our previous games where Dragon was taken around the 5-minute mark, so we got these super fast souls going to G2 in the first couple games, Mad Lions in the last one. So it is on a bit of delay, is this game, but you also have to feel like that maybe punishes Mad Lions again, who, looking at their composition, while they do have some good scaling elements once more with the Ezreal down in the bottom side, aren't necessarily going to be favored if we get super late into this one, when you have an Azir and a Kalista there with the Taracle really making them untouchable in these later fights.
The thing that I really love about the Mad Lions composition, though, is the ability to express your skill. When you look at every single one of those champions, even though, yes, from just a pure PowerPoint, but if Kaiser can land a fantastic Tempered Fate, or if Kazi can kite around, a Humanoid can pop off, there's just a lot of exciting elements that these young players, they've stepped up, stared down G2, they don't care, right? They are proving that they can fight with the best of them, and they want to qualify for those finals tomorrow. Even though it's going to escape over the wall, but it means they need to win this game. They need to force that game 5.
Yeah, and the word we're looking for with those champions is champions with agency, right? The mobility, carry potential. Like each one of these guys can, really swing a team fight when they hit their high highs of the champion. Elise in Insect, Humanoid finding a pick, Kaiser with an insane ultimate. Those tools are definitely for them. And it's sort of been the story of this series where Mad Lions pick more of these, high, low champions, and G2 have the much more stable fight. And that's why, I hate to say it, but we always go into these team fight questions like, oh, which team do we favor? Well, probably G2, but you can't discount Mad Lions and their ability to do stuff like this.
Oh, the bait! Catch them, hook, line, and sinker. Perks was waiting, and G2 stood in the river. That Emperor's Divide was truly dirty, and G2 Esports get 2 easy kills.
I mean, the Mad Lions just sort of lined up there. They were trying to see the king, and Perch just slammed him with that ultimate. Meanwhile, Caps is just solo pushing down mid lane, right? Like, G2 are getting everything they could possibly want, and this is a point that I was thinking about bringing up earlier, as we see a teleport in to try and punish Caps, but he's going to look for the 1v1 solo kill.
And the Tempered Fate's going to buy just enough time, and Kaiser hops over the wall. Kaiser looks for another. Not going to survive just yet. Finally goes down. Caps continues to use that martial poise to beautiful execution. Finally, he goes down. Wonder now is in trouble between 3 members. That was a really awkward movement, as I think it was between 3 different movement abilities. They're just flying everywhere. 18 kills in 14 minutes. 22 is the number. Come on. Where's he going, Ender? That's the question. He's looking for Shadow. Wonder is picking a fight with Humanoid. That's the kickback. Now Arome's coming in. The craziness has not stopped. The entirety of this game is just a melee everywhere in the Rift. And finally, it will slow down.
It's just craziness all over right there with Mad Lions trying to force plays. If you zoom out to all of it, those are just 2 forced plays for Mad Lions back-to-back. The second one going much better than the first, I'd say, even though it was pretty close overall 1-for-1 trade in the end there. Mad Lions will often just give up on mid lane to force plays when they are put behind. That's what we saw with the the portal down into that bot lane, and Caps is just pushing mid lane, but they do this to try and sort of light a fire under them, spark something. Unfortunately, it did not work out, so they tried it again, and as they fall further behind, we're going to see them continue to force over and over and over again, and it's in these next 1 to 2 plays that they make that they will either win the game or completely bury themselves.
It is a 4,000 gold difference at 15 minutes. 3 talents to 0 in that Mountain Drake. It is stark. When you look down the items, though, I think barring maybe a Rome's set, the completed Black Cleaver versus a few thrift shops, it's 1.5 items across the board. So that does bode relatively well. But as I agree with you entirely, Ender, there cannot be any more margin for error with a 4th tower falling. Mad Lions, they have to find a way to bring themselves back into this game or they will be eliminated.
Yeah, I mean, Mad Lions have to find fights with a numbers advantage because, like, itemization isn't terrible for them, but it's a Gunblade and 1 Magic Pen item versus a Gnasher's Tooth and 2 Magic Pen items. So Perks is an absolute beast right now. He is going to shred through the Mad Lions, so these fights where they're running in gotta be good. If they can force while G2 are on the Rift Herald, that might have been a good look for them, but G2 respectfully will walk away.
I mean, look at the vision in that northern quadrant. There's so many wards from G2. So all of Mad Lion's movements over the next few minutes are going to be spotted. 15 seconds for Infernal. So G2 are now going to start peeling down south. 3-4 members towards the river. And Perks can bring up that Sun Disk if it's available, just to try hold off any potential engagements.
Now, one thing about G2's comp is that they're not great at forcing engagements. They're very good at punishing when Mad Lions try to dive into them, right? Their turnaround potential with the Azir as well as the Tark is very, very high, but neither an Aatrox or a Rek'Sai want to be the primary initiator in a fight. As Shadow going way deep here, not going to be able to fund that kick with a good divide to push him away. But when G2, as the team with the lead, are looking to force, they will do so either by setting up around objectives because their control there is very good with the Azir and the Callisto, or by trying to find flanks with the Aatrox. It's not a perfect idea because Mad Lions are very, very mobile, but when Mad Lions push deep down lanes, you can try to get around and try to corral that Mad Lion squad.
Okay, I'll see you around the next objectives. 4 minutes to Ocean, 2.5 until Baron. When you think about Azir plus Nash's, Kalista plus Blade of the Ruined King, I think they can melt through that Baron very, very quickly. So whether or not they're going to be bold enough to try it or have the lane wave management set up is going to be the next question. That Blade of the Ruined King was finally completed by Arome, and where is he going? I want to see what he can do on this set. Has had a really good game in the previous matchup, playing the Renekton, if I recall correctly, and this time around on the set, a lot of pressure on him and Mad Lions to step up because Wonder's kind of styled on Arome throughout the course of the series. Yeah,
and Arome isn't the guy that was going to run into this series ever with the idea like, I must beat Wonder in the 1v1, that's going to be the turning point. No, for him it's always been about how can he utilize his teleports to spin the game around. Game 3 showed that, you know, the highest level of that, whereas in the other games he was bullied substantially by G2, not just Wonder, but Jankos, the bot lane of Caps and Mickey when they swapped up there as well, and I don't even think he's necessarily going to be the focal point for Mad Lions in this game either, outside of those teleport plays, which are going to be returning soon, which does give Mad Lions some ability to find a fight with a numbers advantage, because without control, vision control around map, you can't just sort of walk around freely and try to find picks. It's probably going to come down to you see someone, you instinctively just say, we have to fight now, knowing that, I don't know, Caps is pushing bot lane or Perks isn't around, something like this, and that's when you need to be able to call the teleports and act decisively. Otherwise, it's just going to slowly start to lose your grip on the game.
I mean, I think I can say with a high level of confidence that for the last 4 minutes, the fact that nobody has died is the first time all game long. The tempo has slowed down significantly, and this does play into Mad Lions' favor ever so slightly. The game was running away from them. They needed to stem the bleeding. They needed to buy some time to pick up some additional items, and they managed to do that.
Here's the
TP. They found themselves a challenge onto Wonder. That's going to be a defensive flash away as Perks has been forced to slide and glide away. Arome's going to get pushed back by the Emperor's Divide, and now Humanoid flashes over. He's picked up at least 1 kill onto Wonder. The Tempered Fate has already been used. Now Jankos is the next target. Perks forced to flash on safety. It's a fight to multiple fronts as Arome goes Golden Super Saiyan and will not be able to find another kill. The Fate's Call now brings back Mickey. He's chucked right back into the fray. Kazi is stuck in between all of G2, and he's taken down by a furious bite. Here comes Caps to the re-engage over the wall, and the last member standing from the Mad Lions is down. Mad Lions erased.
Mad Lions fall down right there after trying to force the fight. Kaiser, even on the back end, flashes over the wall, but can only trade for 1 kill here. It's G2 with the full team ace, dropping the Rift Herald down here as well. They kited back well, they played around the Tarek ultimate, and it's that turn we said they are so good at, when they bring in the whole team and then punish you for trying to engage when you don't fully hit the mark.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're just going to push that further ahead. Now, fortunately, Baron wasn't up, or they're too far away. But okay, yeah.
So
good luck, Ender.
No, this fight's a disaster for Mad Lions. Watch, like the Bard ultimate is going to miss, and Humanoid is trying so hard in this fight. Right, he starts off jumping onto Wonder, and then he says, "I need to get damage down." He waits out the Emperor's Divide, dashes over the wall, but now he's in the middle of 4 people. He has to flash over the wall. No DPS going on to the backline. Kaiser misses 3 members with the Tempered Fate. That turns the team fight around. If that lands, Yankos dies, Perks dies, Humanoid can then E back over the wall as it's ending, and he gets a triple kill. The missed ultimate there from Kaiser may have just cost his team the game, because with that charcoal working out perfectly, the counterpick of the Bard does not exist, and now G2 have just run away with the game.
And that's what we said a little earlier, skill expression. But the thing about skill expression is it's a double-edged sword. If you miss the skill shot, the ramifications are massive.
Look, Trevor, that ultimate right there is why everyone hates having a Bard on their team in solo queue. Because when that it can make or break a team fight for you, and it broke it for Mad Lions' case.
Unbelievable. So close for Mad Lions. And it's kind of felt that way a little bit all series long. I think, you can quite easily see some obvious mistakes on the Mad Lions side all series long, but they have fought very hard. I mean, that was really good from Humanoid. Well timed. Managed to escape. Does he feel bold enough to go forward? No, not just yet. Got the gunblade up. But all series long, G2 have been able to at least take whatever Mad Lions was throwing at them and then punish the mistakes very, very heavily.
Yeah, now Mad Lions are just the team that's trying to respond now. They can't contest the Drake bot side, so we can steal some top side camps. We can take down that top lane inner turret. I guess we'll take any gold we can get, but in 5 minutes now, Ocean Soul, if G2 get it, the game is unwinnable. I will say that right now for Mad Lions, they must be able to contest around that, because against a Taracold, being able to constantly apply the healing from Ocean Soul in a fight, when you have a Callista that's going to be building a whole lot of lifesteal tools as well, you have an Aatrox, like, forget it. You're not going to be able to deal enough damage to remove those players from the game.
And just a reminder of the stakes once again. Even though we do have an upper bracket and a lower bracket here in the LEC playoff structure, the advantage of making it to finals and not going to lower is you only have to play one BO5. That tomorrow Fnatic are sitting and watching both of these teams, are studying the decision-making, the tendencies, the pick and ban priority, and they will face... Right now it's looking like G2. They need to close it out, and that show will start tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Let's see how G2 play the next few minutes. 4 minutes to Ocean. They can also play around Baron. Death Cap was just picked up for Yanko. So for G2, it's like they've got a number of ways they can bring Mad Lions to them. You described how their team composition likes to work in that space. And now it's just a matter of like cherry picking when and where they want to happen.
Yeah, so if I'm G2 here, I am very confident, and obviously, right, you have a gold lead, you're 1 Drake away from having the Ocean Soul, but I would not risk it by starting up a Baron. I think we saw them do that in either Game 3 or Game 2, where they went for the early Baron, they got the fight, and they won the game. That's all fine and well, but even though you do have big items coming through here, Humanoid just finished off his Zonias, Trinity Force is now completed for cards. Like, Mad Lions do have some good firepower to fight back here, so G2 don't need to risk it around the Baron, because if you give Mad Lions a team fight where they take Baron, all of a sudden they can win the game, and that's exactly what Mad Lions are trying to set up for now with this ridiculous multi-man flank.
Dunk! Wonder is the target, and he will go down. Shadow picks it up. That is crucial. That is important. That is honestly impressive decision-making from Mad Lions. They found a dark spot in the minimap, in the vision, and they punished it. But now...
Oh, how crazy are they? They're not that crazy. Okay, never mind.
I held my breath.
I think going for that would have been probably a game ender right there. If you take so much damage from the Baron, and then the Taracold has the perfect setup to get you into the pit. That's not the fight Mad Lions had wanted whatsoever. So they will take the pick, and that is a good pick. And now they do have a lot of deep wards the observers are highlighting too as well, to find a teleport flank, perhaps. If Mad Lions can continue to try and play around their pockets of vision, like we just saw, they do have some pick tools. It's not the cleanest thing, it's not a thresh hook, but, you know, when Lee Sin can get behind you and land those kicks, it's going to be very effective.
And also, interesting to see the commitment to vision. Almost all on the top half of the map. Very, very few wards on the bottom half, with Ocean Soul spawning in 2 minutes for G2 side. Obviously, Baron is a big threat. You cannot disregard it, and you cannot ignore it. Mad Lions and G2 are now just in this battle for vision. They're contesting literally every single ward. and the skirmish lines, the battle lines are being pushed forwards and backwards. The tremor sense from Jankos' Rex site is going to be
they're on a ward.
Invaluable, and they are going to continue to chase. Cosmic Binding will buy some time. Emperor's Divide is available for perks, but Mad Lions have now been split up. Shadow can buy some time with his mobility and his Dragon Ray kick, and look at the minimap. Teleports are coming in. This was the vision that was placed earlier, that was afforded to the Mad Lions because of Wonder going down.
They got
Emperor's
perks.
Divide will split, but Perks is gone. Now follow Caps. He has to have the fight of his life. It's a 1-for-1 as the mid and the jungle have been traded, but both bot laners standing, and neither team wants to commit.
Yeah, it's a super tense situation right there because Shadow was caught out, right? He was going to fall no matter what, but Mad Lions can't let that happen because then G2 get the Baron, they get the Ocean, like, they get everything. Game ends if Shadow dies there without repercussions. So the fact that Mad Lions call in the TP from Humanoid and they trade kills with perks there saves the game entirely for them. It was Kaiser and Shadow both trying to sit here, but they were on a ward without knowing it. Again, the Lee Sin doesn't have a sweeper, so they're much weaker at controlling enemy vision here. So Shadow is going to go down 100%. He's just trying to buy time, which is where the Humanoid flank to pick off perks, because the positioning is very awkward and spread out here for G2, is absolutely massive in order to keep Mad Lions' hopes alive.
Yeah, unbelievable. Unfortunately, as we reset the map now, the vision again, the war just continues. Baron is now being pushed back and forth. The lead from G2 is still there, but Mad have slowed down the pace of the game a fair amount, and they still cannot afford to give away either of those neutral objectives. Look at G2. They've shoved bottom, they're shoving mid right now, and they should be able to back away to look for that Ocean Soul.
Look at Shadow. He wants to find the flank here. We're 10 seconds away from the Soul point being an option for G2, but a nice Sun Disc is actually going to buy so much space for G2.
Yeah.
Mad Lions are going to have to run over here ASAP because this Dragon will go down quickly.
And you didn't mince your words earlier, Ender. You said if Ocean Soul is picked up, G2 will win this game.
They don't have Bartle for the Taric!
Secured, but now there's nothing that you can do. All of a sudden, G2 are going to fight back under the Taric ultimate, and they've taken no damage yet. It has timed out. Humanoid's trying to do what he can. Perks is going to get taken down, but that's two members of Mad Lions that are gone. Well, Kazi's got to do so much on the back as Kaiser's running for his life. Caps is running him down, and Jankos is going to use the tunnels to safety. 3 Mad Lions for 1.
Yeah, but G2 pick up the Ocean Soul in that fight. Kaiser tried to use that Bard ulti to buy time for the steal to come through. Shadow could not pull it off. So G2, not only do they win the fight because the Taric ult is uncontested by that Bard, but they also get the Ocean Soul. And I think that is lights out for Mad Lions' playoffs run.
Oh, 5,000 gold difference. He has a replay, and it'll start a Tempered Fate onto Drake.
Yeah, so he has to do it, right? It's Callista plus Smite, and Mad Lions were too slow to the play because of the Sun Disc. Then you see over on this side, G2 are able to commit a little bit, getting damage down on towards Humanoid, who was able to finish off Perks, I believe, with the help of Karzi. But you can see this fight gets super, super messy. Karzi is trying to style, but a nice Blast Cone escapes Wonder from that fight, and it gets too far away, so not even the range of an Ezreal can play out. Karzi is so insanely strong on this Ezreal pick, but the fight was too mobile, too spaced out for him to be able to land the skill shot to turn it in Mad Lions' favor.
Well, if G2 pick up this Baron, surely that is all she wrote for Mad Lions in the spring split. It has been a hell of a journey, and Mad Lions need to pull off some sort of miracle here to bring it back. Baron gets pulled away from, and G2 instead decide to push through the mid lane. Let's see how they go. If they commit to this objective, you have to think about it. Mad Lions took down G2 a few weeks ago. They've had such a good run, but this is their final fight.
Yeah, this is going to decide everything here as Jankos pops over the wall and finds Kaiser.
Oh, he's got himself one already. The magical journey goes away. Kaiser stays alive a few seconds, but now Humanoid commits. The rest of Mad Lions are simply not here. Humanoid's hiding away in the dust. He manages to escape with his life. Not just yet, as G2 are looking for more. Again, the tension continues to build up. Kaiser will now be run down by members of G2. Tempered Fate will buy a few extra seconds, but this should open up anything for G2.
Yep, G2 are going to be running towards the Baron as, hey, wait a second, Shadow looking for the pick.
Oh, my word.
Oh,
Jankos
they don't get Jankos!
Mickey rocks up just in the nick of time. Now he finally goes down. The jungler is out. Mad Lions, they're trying to turn this down. Mickey is going to get pulled back by the Fate's Call, but here comes the Emperor's Divide. Pins it in, locked down, locked out. And this might just be shut down as G2 will turn to Baron while hunting Humanoid down. G2 Esports with one more buff as Perks will look to finish the deal onto Humanoid.
Perks is just slamming the door in the face of Mad Lions right here. It looked like maybe Cars carrying that fight until Perks comes around from behind. Orome was pushing mid lane the entire time. He's the last member left up here to try and contest. He's in the pits.
Unbelievable. A lot of Ren stacks as well as smites. No smite available, sorry, just the Ren stacks. I was able to secure the Baron there, and G2 Esports have got everything they need to finish out this game. They played better today, and Mad Lions have had some very visible mistakes, and they definitely played well, but not well enough to contest G2 in the form today.
No, Mad Lions couldn't live up to some of the hype that they were trying to generate. You know, when they beat G2 2 weeks ago, they still took one game off and gonna hold on for as long as they can in this one. But regardless, a strong split for the Mad Lions.
Hell of a good split.
Like this team, again, we talked about it, to replace four of our most veteran players in the LEC, bring in 4 rookies, and even be here today in the top 3, let alone beat G2 in a best of 5, take one game off of them. It is truly an accomplishment for them, but it is G2 in the base now, taking out the first inhibitor. Just one more fight between them and facing Fnatic tomorrow. Yeah, the greatest rivalry in League of Legends, G2 versus Fnatic. They went to all 5 games twice last summer. Fnatic, 2018 World Finalists. G2, 2019 World Finalists. G2 are now pushing on the base to set themselves up for another fight. And truthfully, tomorrow might be Fnatic favored. We'll have to find out. Perks manages to get the Emperor's Divide onto Shadow. Now Aromi's the next target. Caps is even going to be able to use that passive to hop outside of the Tempered Fate. 2 Lions are down, and the Pride is running. And Kaiser gets knocked into the air by Wonders. Yanko steps forward. There's a teleport coming in from Perks. He's had enough time to back, to shop, and to come back in fully rested, fully healed. G2 Esports have had to fight hard today, but they will set themselves up for the final. The Nexus is the focus. G2 eliminate the Mad Lions and set themselves up for another fight with Fnatic in the finals. And G2 come back with a strong look here. One day before those finals, a lot of people have Fnatic pinned as the favorites, but G2 showed some good fights here today.